Did a call this morning with my very good friend Dan Bolton for both our communities. I was sitting right there, and isn't it crazy that we can basically take our office with us these days? I never take that for granted. Anyway, did a call for both the communities with my good friend Dan Bolton. We have very similar businesses, very similar outlooks, very similar values, and we jammed for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it was super fun. And at the end, we had a little Q&A, and one of the questions was, paraphrasing, but how do I stop attracting people who are desperate and don't have any resources or don't have any money or don't have any experience but really want all those things? And one of the things I laid out was something that I've given to clients for a long time in terms of messaging, is that messaging comes in two parts. The messaging that you put into your content, into your offers, is about what you can do for people, right? And if you only talk about what you can do for people, then you always get people who want things. If you help people get six-pack abs, then lots of people want six-pack abs. If you help people get to 20K a month, lots of people get to 20K a month. That doesn't mean they are capable of doing it or they have the current resources to do it right now, and you can actually help them through the course of your coaching, consulting, or mentorship. So what you will find useful in your messaging is talking to the things that your ideal client has now. So for example, if we take the people who are currently, wanting six-pack abs, if someone has never done a diet, never worked out, never done anything that moves them towards that, the chances of them doing that under your watch are pretty damn small. So you'll get a pretty high failure rate. If someone is actually on the path to doing those things, they might be dieting right now. They might be going to the gym, but they are probably dissatisfied with the process they're undertaking and the formula they're currently using, and they're looking for a new opportunity. And when in marketing people talk about new opportunities, what they're actually talking about is talking to people who are doing something but want a new way of doing it. So if you're talking to people who six-pack abs, it's like you're going to the gym 5 times a week, you're got on a strict diet that's got no fat in it, and you're on a calorie restricted and you hate counting calories and you're doing all those things. I've got a better way about how to get six-pack abs while you can eat pizza and only go to the gym once every year. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the gist of talking to the things they're already doing. And the same goes for business coaching or anything to do with making money, is that you need people who have already done something, already doing something, to actually bring forth the skill to help them make money with that skill. Because it's very difficult to both give the skill to the person, get that person good at the skill, then show them how to deploy that skill into business, whether it's doing services or coaching someone or offering consulting, because you've got a lot of steps to take that you will need them to go through to actually get the result you promise and ultimately make a good client, and you ultimately getting paid for it. So you talk to the things that you're doing. You're making your offers. You're on long phone calls. You're sick of having 5 calls a week without closing anybody. People say they can't afford it. They're all the frustrations that someone is going through in the market, and then you present the alternative solution. And good messaging presents the things that people are currently doing and are frustrated with doing and are sick of doing and won't tolerate anymore, and provides them a new opportunity to do it. And when you talk to those things, you will do something that most people don't do in their marketing, is that you will repel the wrong people because they don't have those things. People who aren't currently making offers and doing sales calls, etc., don't know the frustration of doing multiple calls a week and getting on the phone and trying to close people and not working, because they're not currently experiencing that, because they're probably not doing anything. So talking to the frustrations of that your ideal client is currently undertaking, and having a contrast and showing what your solution is to that, derives the contrast for the best type of messaging. And the best copy, the best messaging, the best positioning always has high contrast. It talks about the things that somebody is doing that they don't like anymore, that they don't want to do anymore, that is out of character for them or out of alignment for them, and shows them that something that is in alignment, and then invites them to have a conversation and explore more about how they can do those things the right way. Because people have a sense of who they are in most things. And people have a sense of what they will tolerate. Some people like long sales calls and closing and that type of sales because that's their personality. Lots of people don't. They don't like sales calls. They don't like selling at all, but they understand that they need to make sales, so they want an alternative to do that. I work with a ton of people who are self-professed, non-pushy salespeople, and they make a ton of sales because I show them a way to make sales without having to, sell their soul in their opinion to doing the things that a lot of other people are prepared to do on sales calls. None of this makes anything we do right or wrong. It just means that there are different people in the market, and some are for you and some aren't, right? So messaging is a crucial, two-piece step. And when you have the piece that offers results, when you prove results, when you talk about transformations, when you talk about changes that actually undertake when people follow your system or partake in your coaching or communities or whatever it may be, then that is the first step. But the one before that, step 0, is talking to people who are actually doing something or in a process of doing something and are dissatisfied with that, and talking to those things. Because when you do that, you will attract people who are in motion and doing things. They have the resources, they have the will, they have the desire. And talking to those people, you've got a much higher chance of closing them, and you've got a much higher chance of ultimately getting a result for them. So use both parts. Both are useful, and they'll get you results.